I'm just waiting for it to actually
show up on Substack.
right. Hopefully I didn't do something wrong. Oh, there we go. Cool. All right. Yeah, there we are.
Are we there? Are we everywhere? Are we?
We should be everywhere. I can't monitor all the things because I've got a bandwidth issue. So
Oh, okay. Well, I have the Substack live open,
oh,
but I'm not on YouTube. I mean, I'm not currently right
I
now
can
on YouTube. Oh,
put that
look at
on
me!
there.
I switched to the big screen. Oh no. So are we ready? Shall we dive
Well,
in? Are we?
I'm
Are we
ready.
set up yet? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're good to go on my end.
Well, hello everybody. I'm Brandon Elrich, joined by the poet Miranda and Sarah for our weekly trauma talk. What do we call it? Trauma and voices, trauma and signals, signals and voices. There's so
I
many
don't
different.
know.
Trauma and voices, I guess.
Oh, okay. Well, whenever I publish it, I publish it as trauma talk. So it's got trauma in the name. We're here for our weekly trauma.
You're going to inflict trauma on us.
As if you don't get enough of that in your daily lives. You come here to escape, and we pour more on you.
Oh,
So, one of the things I was thinking about lately, especially, is the holidays and stress associated with the holidays. We just came out of one of them, at least here in the U.S. I know Canada had their Thanksgiving in October, I think it is. But um, especially I think everybody deals with stress around holidays with their families and things like that. But as a queer person, especially when you have family members that don't accept you as you are, or they don't necessarily want you at your holiday gatherings sometimes, or they might tolerate you, which is certainly not a great feeling to have. But
No.
um, so, how did you all, since we just got done with Thanksgiving, did you all celebrate with family and how did that go?
Miranda, do you want to go first?
Oh, yeah.
Sure. So, um, we have decided not to travel out of state, um, which it's hard, like not going to see family for the holidays. But the reason we made that decision is because last Christmas we did a road trip to go see my wife's family and to see my family, and I ended up getting threatened in a gas station um, because I'm one of those scary trans women. Um, so I don't have the issue of like having to see family that doesn't accept me. My issue is that um, I don't get to go see family. Um, and that was a really hard decision to make. And I know that um, there are a lot of trans people who regularly travel and have no issues. I know other trans people who have had the opposite, where they've been assaulted and had to deal with that on the road. Um, so it's difficult. Like my my parents and my sister and her husband and kids all went on a cruise together for Thanksgiving,
Oh,
and you know we would be invited to that, but um, because like they're all supportive, um, but that's not necessarily a safe situation for me. Um, so it's hard to not be included, but also know that like that was a choice that I made. And I think it really it weighs on our kids a lot, because we have a couple of teenagers, and this is the first year that we haven't seen any of our other family for Thanksgiving, and we won't for Christmas either. So they've been talking about like, oh, I miss this thing that we always do with this set of grandparents, and I miss this thing that we always do with this set of grandparents, and um, yeah, I don't know. It's hard.
so do you ever like do they ever come to you?
No, and like that hurts too, because um, like we've always been the ones to go to the family,
Yeah.
and then we moved um, last summer. Um, my mom has come to see us one time, and that was when um, she was coming to Colorado anyway to care for her dad, who was um, in hospice at that point in time. Um, so we've got one visitor, and otherwise, like my parents haven't made a trip out here together. My sister and her family um, haven't come to visit, even though they travel a lot. I think that one um, hurts the most because they travel so much as a
Right.
family, but it's like, why why are we not good enough to come see? Um,
Yeah,
and my
they
in-laws
have the
haven't come to visit. Um, so yeah,
knowing they have the ability and that they don't. Yeah, that's I can understand how that would be difficult. And oh, before we go to Sarah, I just wanted to say for anybody in the chat, if you want to weigh in with any relevant questions or comments, um, feel free. Sarah, did you get together with any family for Thanksgiving?
Yeah. So normally we would go to my in-laws, but that the holidays are changing in that regard. So I was with my mother and my child, and we went to go see my sister and my nephew. Coincidentally, my sister's birthday fell on Halloween, or not Halloween, my goodness. Thanksgiving this year. um, yeah, I don't put a whole lot of stock in Thanksgiving. Clearly, I like Halloween better. So yeah, we went out there and we celebrated my sister's birthday, and she enjoyed that. But it's difficult because she lives. It's a 90-minute drive to get to her house one way, and so if I'm gonna go out there, I basically have to count on staying the night. So she's ecstatic that she feels like she gets me and my daughter or my child back for the holidays, which in some ways is nice. But it's just so much driving. And then, we have traditionally we would go to my in-laws for Christmas Eve, but with everything going on domestically, I don't know if that's going to be the case this year. So it's the stress of all the uncertainty. That's pretty much it for me for the holidays.
Oh, I went to my parents' house, and I brought a friend, a straight female friend, with me, and I always, I don't know, I wonder sometimes if my parents are still hoping that maybe we're dating or something, or that that maybe I'm not
Like,
gay.
yay, he brought a woman home. Yay.
Right. And I'm like, I don't know. I have that in the back of my mind. And then, well, a lot of times I have an aunt that many times comes, and she's very judgmental and nosy, and I've figured, oh, she's there, she's going to ask my friend a bunch of questions and ask if we're dating and that kind of thing, and I'm like, oh. But thankfully she wasn't there for the noon meal. I mean, my parents usually do, like, we have a big family, so they'll start at noon or whatever, and then have basically the food's out most of the day, or they'll put it away for a while and bring it back out in the evening or whatever. But my aunt wasn't there for the noon meal, which is the one we showed up for, and then we left before she came for the evening one. So that worked out well. But yeah, and the same would be true for Christmas, except I don't think my friend is going to come with me to Christmas. She has her family lives out of state. She doesn't always go home for the holidays and things, but so she didn't have anywhere to go for Thanksgiving. So I didn't want to just leave her alone. Oh, hello, Elaine.
Hi, Elaine.
Hello there. I'm on vacation this week, so I actually get to come to this one. I'm so excited.
Oh, well, we're talking about holiday stress. And since we just got done with Thanksgiving, I was just asking everyone what they did for Thanksgiving, if they had they have issues with family and things, stresses around family. What did you do for Thanksgiving, Elaine?
I spent it with my Trump-hating oldest brother and oldest niece and my brother's housemate and my niece's husband, and it was fabulous. We ripped that bastard up one side and the other. I figure it made up for everybody who had to sit on their hands and not say anything around, Grandpa the Republican, that kind of shit. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say your experience is kind of the opposite of many of the rest.
well, that's because, I'm older and my parents are gone and my
Yeah.
aunts and uncles are all gone. And so my grandparents are all gone. I do have one brother that I'm basically estranged from because of political stuff, but he lives 1,000 miles away. So, and he's pretty much estranged from all of the siblings because he's the only one that's conservative. So,
Okay.
anyway,
So
yeah.
I guess it's easy to avoid.
Mm-hmm. The only thing that was not good, I usually have a core group of friends that I spend Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve with, and two of them died this year. And
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
yeah. Anyway, one of them, he and his son always came, and they're Jewish, and they would come to my house on Christmas Eve, and of course, I'd always joke about how I was going to serve ham. I never did. So I don't really know what I'm going to do for Christmas Eve yet because I'll have to find somebody else to invite, I guess. But anyway, yeah, my parents moved 1,000 miles away like 6 months after I got my first apartment when I was 20. And they stayed there, for 35 years. My mom died while they were living up there. And my dad came down here and lived with me his last almost a year. But we were apart all those in like 35 years. And so I wasn't used to having Thanksgiving with family anyway. So I would
Okay.
get together with friends or whatever. Sometimes I'd go home for Thanksgiving, but not very often. So
Well, that brings up another point I was thinking about, and with
Mhm.
if you have a family that you don't get along with, or maybe that's far
Mhm.
away, or you can't spend time with them, there are
Mhm.
alternatives. Like
Oh.
when I invited my friend over last year for a friendsgiving meal,
Mhm.
and Elaine was kind of talking about that with her group of friends.
Mhm.
Miranda, since you don't have that, since you can't go to your families, have you thought about any kind of community or friends to start kind of a tradition just in your own
Yeah,
community?
so this year we just did just our household, our four-person
Mhm.
household. Um, so like um, it was still nice, and like we went through the trouble of making a feast. Um, my wife made roast duck, um, and um, pumpkin pie and stuff, and um, but like I also um, checked in with um, some friends in the area who um, were either just doing Thanksgiving solo or were doing different friendsgiving things. Um, yeah, so I don't know if next year or if around Christmas we're gonna try to add more people in or not. We'll see.
Mhm. I used to do a thing since I live in a housing cooperative and we have a club room. I used to reserve it every Thanksgiving and I'd have like a neighborhood dinner. And it used to be
Oh,
pretty well
somebody
Mhm.
reserved our club room. They were having a
Yeah.
good time.
Well, I reserved it this year, but there was only going to be 5 of us. So I said, hell with it. We'll just be at my house. And since I didn't have
Yeah.
to actually cook, my oldest brother picked everything up from some local uh, restaurant that was doing Thanksgiving takeout, and I didn't have to do anything except provide the venue and the dishwasher.
Sounds like a good
Never buy
time.
dishes anyway,
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, it was nice. But yeah, there used to be a lot of older people in this neighborhood, and a lot of them were alone. And so the dinner down in the club room was real popular with them. And well, sad to say, they've mostly kind of died out. So
Mm.
last time I had my friends from outside were the only ones who showed up. And I said, well, I'm not going to do this anymore. I mean, it doesn't cost me anything because since I'm on the cooperative board, I don't have to pay to reserve the club room. But it's a pain in the ass to haul everything down to the, instead of just having it in my house. So, but yeah, I think the first time I ever went to a Thanksgiving without my, like a Friendsgiving or whatever, was probably I was like 25 or 26, and some woman invited me, and it was just, this bunch of lesbians. And of course, they were all talking about their, satanic ritual abuse traumas and the horror of their menstrual cycles and all that kind of shit. And I was like, yeah, won't be doing this again for a while. And I didn't for about another 15 years. But anyway.
Yeah, we always had traditions growing up, and I miss some of the going to my grandparents' house, and we always went on Christmas Day. We'd open up our presents at home, stockings and whatnot, and then we'd have to be done by noon, because then we'd go to my grandparents' house. They always had it on Christmas Day, and of course they had presents there and a meal and everything like that. And as the family grew and my grandma passed away, that kind of dissipated. She was the one that kind of spearheaded all that, and without her, it's like nobody else, I guess, was as dedicated to it or really wanted it as much. So but that kind of kind of going off what Miranda said earlier about the kids missing certain things. We miss going here and doing this or whatnot. You can always make new traditions, because things fade away, people pass on, and you have to kind of create something new. And for those people, I mean, I think it happens with a lot of different people. You lose people and you move, and you kind of have to improvise and do something different. And sometimes what you come up with might be better than what you had before, inviting new friends over, and especially people who don't have other family, you can kind of bring them into your own, maybe. But yeah, I can't remember. There was something else I was going to go into next, and then now I can't remember what it was. So what are some of the things that you do to relieve that stress? Like if you do go into a family gathering and you have those family members that don't necessarily agree with you or that don't accept you, that kind of thing, are there ways that you cope or ways that you avoid that stress? And I'll start with one of mine. I was talking about my aunt that would often come to our family gatherings, and we usually have like a buffet line. We don't have like one big table that we pass around the food and stuff like that. We just go up and go through the line, and fix our plates and go sit down. So one of the things I do is I sit back and wait till she goes so I can see where she's going to sit.
Yeah.
I sit on the opposite side of the room or a different table or whatever it is, So my strategy is often to evade and avoid, kind of escape the judgmental eyes and mouth of some of my family members.
Yeah, it's like sit with a little clique of family members that are allies and
right,
sort of have your own conversation.
Right. Doesn't always work, but I can avoid pretty well. Does anybody else have any ways that you avoid certain family members or certain types of stress?
I mean,
1,000 miles away.
Well, that's true.
I was gonna say the family members that I of mine that I know would be judgmental of me. Um, the one of them lives in Florida, so I'm not gonna see him. And um, my aunt from the same family lives not too far away, but we don't ever get together with them anymore because we just kind of stopped after my grandfather passed away because it seemed like that's the only reason we were getting together with them.
Yeah, that was kind of like with mine, with my grandma.
Mhm.
And then, going the prospect of seeing my in-laws over Christmas Eve, like with me only being so recently out, nobody in the family really knows.
Mhm.
Okay.
So my mother-in-law doesn't know. Like my mom knows, my sister knows, a couple of my cousins know. But like Joe's family doesn't know at all. So when he goes and talks to his mom, she's just like on this kick where like, oh, you guys could get back together, blah blah blah. It's like,
No, there's
so
kind of a barrier to that idea.
yeah, but she has no
Lucky, like,
idea, right? So like
mhm.
I'm faced with this thing of like, all right, do I go over there this year for Christmas because he's not going to be there? He's going on a road trip with a friend. So
Oh,
like, do I take our child and go to Christmas Eve with his mother and his aunt, and then do I come out? Like I don't know what to do. So
that's one thing
I'm
Um,
I was going to ask about. Like, have you and he talked about any kind of plan for telling his parents, or?
no. No, he had the opportunity to, but said that it wasn't his story to tell, which I appreciate.
Yeah,
But at the same time, it
well,
would have taken away some of the stress of having to tell her.
if you
right.
want some free advice from someone who doesn't have children,
Sure,
don't do it on a holiday.
don't do it on a holiday.
If you go to their place for Christmas, do it for your kids, and just don't do this on a holiday.
My kid is grown. My kid is also
Mhm.
queer, and she doesn't know about that either. So
Yeah, I mean it. That's just me. I mean, it's not anything to be ashamed of, but you also don't want to make it. You know,
it's a
I
good
wouldn't.
point.
Yeah, I mean, when I was back in the '90s, when I was with this woman who was, God, I should have known. I should have known. Her family was a lot harder to deal with than mine was, and we would spend holidays with them. But there was one Christmas where I was like, I am not going to your sister's house to be, disrespected again. Like last year, it's not happening. And so I didn't. I spent the day with one of my brothers, and I don't. I don't even remember what her sister and I were so ramped up about, but we were very alike in our personalities, and that probably had as much to do with it as anything else. But her sister was also raising a small child at that point, and was very worried that the evil lesbians would
Oh my goodness.
corrupt him. So I mean, it's a little boy. Come on, what are we going to do? Teach him to be more more like a boy? Fuck.
I mean, my nephew keeps saying that he wants to be a girl, but that's because he sees girls being able to do all these things. Like all of his cousins can swim, and my child is, an amazing artist, and so he sees all these powerful, feminine people that, yeah, and he just wants to be able to swim.
I'm glad he sees it that way. Yes.
Right.
But anyway, no, I would not come out to them on a holiday. So
That makes sense.
yeah.
Probably is a good idea to think about when you're going to do it, though. And
Well, yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in a way, it's like you don't owe them an explanation, especially now that you're not going to be married to their son, but you're still going to be their grandchild's mother.
Right.
You know, so in that regard, They're gonna find out one way or the other anyway, but it doesn't have to be because you tell them,
Yeah.
you know.
And
There's
it's
a
like
case.
there's different levels of information you can give them. Like,
Mhm.
you know, you
Yeah.
don't have to explain your whole backstory necessarily,
Mhm.
but you can make it like, hey, this is
You
here's
need to
here's
stop
here's a
hoping for
label
this.
you can like associate with me, and that's it. Or you can, you know, go deeper or not, whatever, you know.
Has your child talked about coming out to family or anything?
No, she says, well, she is as gender fluid as I am, so I should say they, and most of the time I do. But the general idea is that they're not coming out anymore. That what's done is done, and anybody who needed to know knows,
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
which I can respect.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the other reason I kind of avoid a lot is because I don't feel like I need to tell anybody, and I don't know.
Oh,
A lot of family can be very nosy, and that like they need to know things about your life and what you're going to do with your future and things like that. It's like you don't really. I mean,
yeah.
but it's kind of hard to deal with when you grew up with these people, you know, like my aunt is kind of like my second mother almost, you know. She helped raise us and stuff. We went over to her house all the time to play and stay the night, things like that.
Did you have to do that? Sorry, one of the cats just knocked something over.
Well,
Cats being cats.
I put up my tree Saturday, and well, I put up two trees. I put up one in my living room and in front of my big window. You know, I wanted people to be able to see it, but I'm doing these lives and everything. I usually do it in my office area, so you know, I wanted to put up one as a backdrop. So
It looks nice.
hopefully the blinking lights aren't too distracting for people. But anyway, um, I don't remember what I was talking about. Something about
sorry.
family being nosy. I don't know, but growing up with certain family, you feel like they've known you all your lives, and yet they haven't. Because, like with me, I wasn't out. I didn't come out. You know, growing up, I may have seemed a little gay to those outsiders, but sometimes when something is right in front of your face, you don't see it.
Mhm.
And especially in a conservative family, it's not really, at least for some, it's not really even a consideration. Well, that's wrong. That he wouldn't do that. That's not him.
Right. Yeah.
You know, that's not even, it doesn't even enter their minds. It's like, well, that's just the way he is. And I don't know. That's kind of hard to deal with. Them realizing that you're not the person that they thought you were growing up. They've known you all your life, and all of a sudden there's this huge change in a way, at least to them. It's like all of a sudden he's gay. That doesn't compute sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then there's the religious aspect, going to the services, the Christmas, you know, the Christmas Eve service and Christmas, and of course Easter. And it's like the last time I went to a service, it wasn't on Easter, but they specifically addressed homosexuality, and I felt like I don't know, I felt like everyone was looking at me, and just felt very conspicuous and like, I don't want to be here.
This was at a Christmas service?
No. It wasn't a holiday service. Just the last time I was at any church service.
Where do you get that?
Yeah. But no, I haven't been back to church since then. I wouldn't mind going to one that was more, more accepting and open. And I know they're out there. I just, just have to actually go do it.
Yeah, we actually live like a mile from the church that my mother-in-law grew up in. She's very conservative Southern Baptist now, but it's an ELCA church. They're very affirming, and so we've
been to that church for 20 years.
Yeah, so we've talked about, if we want to go to church, that might be one that we go check out, and that might blow her mind a little bit.
What does ELCA stand for?
Evangelical Lutheran Church in America.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm
the
not familiar with that.
Scandinavian. It's the Scandinavian Lutheran Church, basically. It's the largest denomination of the Lutheran churches in the United States. Missouri Synod is the next, and that's more the German, and they're more conservative. And then Wisconsin Synod is the far right loonies.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not
Well, I
not
guess
familiar.
there's an American Lutheran church now too that split off from the ELCA because they didn't like the same-sex marriage and the ordination of active LGBTQ people. So
Yeah, I know some have become. I know, like the Methodist, they started adopting, or what is that called when you make someone a preacher? Ordaining, yes. Some words, they're just right there. I just can't think of it. Yeah, but I went to a Methodist church. Our family went to a Methodist church for a while, and they brought in a female pastor, and my parents were like, nope, and we left. Yeah, because they were raised, my mom especially, she was raised in a Pentecostal church, and that was not allowed. Pentecostal, women could not be preachers. For some reason, they could be Sunday school teachers.
Yeah.
Which was, I don't know. I don't see really the difference. You're still
that way the guys don't have to teach Sunday school and deal with the kids.
Yeah.
They see Sunday school more as a child care function than any kind of like Christian education. And then also having the men be the preacher, the pastor, like whatever term they use, confers like a level of authority, and that's what's important in that structure, is the hierarchy of authority.
Yeah, but on a basic level, you're still doing the same thing, right? I mean, you're still teaching the Bible to others, and if they really thought about it, teaching children has more of an impact. You know what I mean? I mean, when you're taught something when you were young, that really sticks with you. I don't know. Seems a little odd. But anyway, yeah, we went to the Methodist church until they brought in a woman. and then, of course, they started ordaining people in the LGBTQ community also. And I think do the Episcopals?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The mainline denominations would be ELCA, the Presbyterian Church, the United Methodist Church, the United Church of Christ, some of the Disciples of Christ. That's the heck of it. You know, they may use the same name, but in different congregations. You know, I worked for the Bishop of Missouri and Kansas for 5 years during the years I was in the ELCA. And there were a lot of congregations that were very conservative. And there were other congregations that were very liberal. You know, I mean, they had to follow the ELCA's. In order to stay an ELCA congregation, you had to agree to the same, standards or whatever you want to. But a lot of congregations left the ELCA over when they started ordaining active LGBTQ and performing same-sex marriages.
Yeah, I think was it Wendy was talking about just a couple weeks ago. It seems like Methodists, some of the Methodist churches in the South, they didn't like that they were ordaining queer people and wanted to argue with it, and they said no, we're going to do it, and so they broke away from a faction of them, I guess, broke away.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up 4th generation RLDS on my mom's side, and there's no church that has split more often than the Mormons. I mean, RLDS was just the largest and probably one of the first splits. And it came about because Joseph Smith's wife, Emma, after he was assassinated, she hated polygamy and didn't want any part of it. And she had a son who was still a child when his dad was killed. So he wasn't old enough to lead a church yet. But she got some other guys who were cool with it, and they started the RLDS church. And once he was old enough, he became the president and prophet. So, and then it was passed down until I think 96 was the first time that they went outside the Smith family lineage. So, and a lot of people left over that. So, but in 1984, when they voted to that women could be ordained, a lot of congregations left the RLDS over that. So.
Yeah, I've seen and heard about a lot of church splits over sometimes very minor things, what seems to be minor things. But yeah, they can't seem to agree on anything. Anyway, well, I didn't write anything down when I thought of this topic. I just thought, oh, we'll just talk about this. And so if anybody else has any more insight about holiday stress, I mean, we've talked about family. I guess there are other holiday stressors, though. Gifts, shopping,
cooking. That was something that came up over Thanksgiving. Like I normally I host, and I end up doing a lot of the cooking. And I was telling my kid that like I feel like I should be doing more because my mother was upstairs peeling vegetables and my sister was prepping the ham and this and that. And I made a pie and I brought it with me, and that was all I did. And my kid's like, well, you do so much in terms of cooking. Take a break.
I was going to say,
just stop.
My brother brought everything, and his daughter brought a whole bunch more. It's like we had enough food for at least a dozen people. So, and I didn't have to cook a lick of it. I loved it.
Yeah, Sarah, I can kind of relate to that. Whenever I go to my parents' house, I always feel like I need to bring something, and yet they always make a ton of food, and they enjoy doing that. They want to do it, but I still feel like I just I try to tell my mom, no, don't make that. I can bring a dessert. I can bring a couple of desserts. You don't have to make all of this stuff. Let somebody else do some of it. But even when I tell her that I'm going to bring stuff, she still makes it just as much as she would have otherwise. So we just have extra dessert or whatever.
I feel
This year I
kind of
brought an apple pie and a sweet potato cheesecake.
oh,
Nice.
So I had some of that left over, so I brought it back home. But yeah, the good thing is there are always leftovers, and you can freeze a lot of stuff. So I ended up bringing leftovers home, and I'll be having that for a while.
I kind of feel an obligation to bring a dessert because I have dietary restrictions,
Oh yeah,
and so like
Yeah, that's
if I
the
want
boat we're
something,
in too.
yeah, if I need something that's sugar free and we're talking about desserts, well, it's better off if I just make it myself.
yeah,
And
that's
then
true.
adding, not being able to have gluten this year, that just added another layer to it. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I would.
my wife and one of my kids can't have gluten, and I can't have dairy. So, like, putting the burden on the other family to figure out how to meet those needs is like they don't need to learn gluten-free baking. We already know it.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's a better attitude than some people. Some people would just put it on them and be like, well, we can't have this. We can't have, you need to accommodate us if we're
right,
going to come to your dinner. No, yeah, I think that's good. Bring your own stuff if
Yeah,
you know
my
how to make it
my
already.
brother's housemate has to have everything gluten free, and she brought her own stuffing, her own dessert. You know,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Mhm. So
Yeah, I think that's the way to do it.
I think it's kind of
mhm.
hilarious that of all the desserts that we had over Thanksgiving, the gluten free, sugar free pumpkin pie was the only one that was completely gone.
yeah, people will be like, "Oh, I hate gluten-free things," and then like gobble it up once it's there.
Right, like from from my perspective, you wouldn't even be able to tell that that was a gluten free and sugar free pumpkin pie.
Well, I think they're getting a lot better with that kind of thing. I mean, it used to be like
Yeah, they are.
anytime you went to get sugar free or diet anything, it was going to taste bad. That's just how it was.
Right.
But yeah, I think there's a lot better now. There's some sugar free things that I've bought that I really liked, and I didn't buy them because they were sugar free, but they tasted better. I liked them. I don't do much sugar-free baking myself, but right now I don't have to. So
Yeah.
I just consider myself fortunate in that regard. My dad is I don't know if he's diabetic now, but he was at least on the verge. Like he was pre-diabetic or whatever the term is.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
he's supposedly trying to watch what he eats, but from what I've seen, I don't see him.
I watch everything I eat. I watch it. Goes right here.
Yeah.
That's the only watching I've seen him do.
On a seafood diet, I see food, I eat it.
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly. But that's him. Food has always been a huge thing for him. He's always wants, when somebody comes up to the table or whatever, here we got this, we got that. He's got to point everything out to them. Here, try some of this, try some of. No, I'm not going to eat.
Yeah, it's a context that he knows how to show
Yeah.
kindness or generosity or whatever. So
Mhm.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm. My mom was the same way.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like I'm sure you can relate when somebody dies in the family, what do people always bring over to the house?
Yeah.
Casserole dishes. It's
Mhm,
always food.
mhm.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I come from a Polish family, so yeah, food, big time.
Yeah.
And at the funeral home too. Like, there's always food at the funeral home.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. I haven't experienced that. It's always at the home afterward that we do it, or the church reception. Maybe we have the dinner, but
Oh, we do that too.
Well, my
yeah.
Jewish friends say that the basis of every Jewish holiday is somebody tried to kill us, they failed, let's eat.
Yeah.
I like it.
So,
But in a way, I can kind of understand the food thing, because when somebody passes away,
mhm,
you can't really do anything for it. I mean, nothing really helps, and you can't give them anything that will replace what they lost. But you can take the burden away from the burden of cooking away from them. They don't have to prepare meals for the next few days, or whatever
Yeah.
whatever you can. So that's something that I see that it's a benefit.
mhm,
But yeah, a lot of people just show love in general, um, by cooking or feeding other people.
mhm, mhm.
Oh, I heard a ding.
Yeah, I got my work computer over here.
Oh,
And technically took a late lunch. But I'm still getting emails.
That's
Oh.
fine.
Naturally. Yeah.
I haven't heard from the office yet. I told my supervisor if they needed me to log in from home, I would. But I haven't heard anything yet, so that's good.
so
I'm
you're
supposed to
all
have
you're off all this week?
Yes, I always take the week after Thanksgiving because it gives me a nice long holiday. And you know how Sunday night, Thanksgiving weekend, you're always like, fuck, where did it all go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 days, where did it all go?
Yep.
Now I'm going to be like, oh, fuck, 11 days, where did it all go? But yeah, that's 1 week. And then I always take the time between July 4th and my birthday, which is on the 12th. I always take that time off. And
Very
then I
nice.
have a nice long break in the summer too.
That's nice.
Especially good now that I don't have to get in my fucking car and drive 15 and a half hours to Upper Michigan. No offense, Sarah.
None taken. It's a long drive.
Oh my God.
It's a long drive within
It is.
Michigan to get up there.
Mhm. It is.
I went to Maine in August for a
Ooh.
writer's retreat, and I drove up to first I drove to Niagara Falls, because I'd never been there before.
Mhm.
And then I drove from there to Maine, Old Orchard Beach, Maine.
Whoa.
Brandon, did you go through Canada or did you stay on the U.S. side?
No, I was just on the U.S. side.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I'm
I
afraid
won't do
on
that.
the Canadian side, I'd want to stay over there. I don't want to get
Right.
back.
They
Yeah,
might
I
not let
can
me
see
back.
Canada. Over the Rainbow Road, Rainbow Bridge, whatever it's
Mhm.
called.
Mhm.
But no, I didn't go over there.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was a long drive, and I don't want to do that again.
Is Niagara Falls, is the Canada side in Quebec or Ontario?
Oh, I don't know the province. I don't know.
Geography is not my strong suit.
No.
I've
I've
never
been
been
to
to
Canada, but
Canada.
only Ontario. So
Yeah, I don't know which is which up there.
A few years ago, we went through the Canada side to get to Niagara Falls, and the view from that side is amazing. And then after spending a few days there, we ended up driving up to Stratford so that my child could see the theater because she was super into theater at that time. And then we came home and then stayed the night at home and promptly drove to New Orleans.
No, I found out a couple of weeks ago from one of the other clinic defenders that if any of your grandparents were Canadian, which my dad's mother was from Chatham, Ontario, You can apply for Canadian citizenship and hold dual citizenship and get a Canadian passport.
Oh,
Oh.
Nice.
So I
Might
haven't
look
had a
into that.
passport well, because if you can't get a U.S. passport for some reason, like because you're a subversive lesbo, you just never know. So I'm thinking about it, but I don't know.
It's good to have
Yeah,
options.
it's a daily thing, wondering whether my passport's going to stay valid.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the whole thing. I mean, my passport expired in 2009, and I didn't figure I was going to go anywhere again, so I never bothered to have it renewed. But, you never know.
to answer your question, it's in Ontario.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, we're getting to the top of the hour. Looks like we're at 55 minutes, 56.
Mm-hmm.
Do any of you have any final thoughts about holiday stress?
Bah humbug.
I mean, I'm with you, Elaine. This year, especially. I'm not even putting up a tree this year.
Oh, really?
I have a pink ceramic tree that lights up, but I haven't taken it out or plugged it in yet. So it's like whatever. One of these bastards will probably just knock it over anyway. So
there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine don't bother the trees. I don't know what it is, but I mean, Zoe goes outside a lot, so if she really wants to climb a tree, she can go out and do it. But she doesn't really seem interested in it. But in my one in the living room, I put a cat tunnel around the bottom of it, so they can't really climb up in it. It kind of blocks them
smart.
from doing that. Yeah. But it doesn't seem like they're really interested in it anyway, so
heck with them then.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't want you bothering my tree anyway.
Well, I mean, I have friends who they hang their tree upside down from the ceiling.
That would be cool.
We used to do that when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, then you have this brace on the ceiling all year, but
we just had a hook.
Conversation piece, what the hell is that thing for?
We just have a gold hook in the ceiling.
I like to string the wife up there on Saturday night.
Yeah, they'll never ask again.
Oh, yeah.
Our tree tried to jump out the window the one year because we were spinning it to decorate it, not realizing we were unscrewing it from the ceiling.
Oh.
It fell, landed on the tip, and bounced out the window.
Oh my gosh. Well,
I decorated. I'm living in my great aunt's. My great aunt used to live in this house, and after she passed away, she had tons of Christmas decorations. I mean, I can just plaster my house with Christmas basically if I wanted to, but then you got to take it all down, of course.
Yeah.
It can be a lot of work. But I put up a lot of her stuff. I think it's kind of cool to feel the nostalgia of it and everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
Okay.
Well, I hope you all have a nice holidays, whatever you celebrate this year. I hope it's relatively stress-free, if not completely. I've got articles written for the next, at least one article for the next 3 weeks. And then I'm going to go live every day of December. This is my first, starting.
Yeah, don't let that stress you out.
No pressure.
I know. I just thought, I need to do something to kind of, gain more subscribers going into 2026. And I thought maybe doing a bunch of lives this month. Maybe I could do something great with it, but we'll see. I've got several guests lined up throughout the month. So I've got I'm talking to Victor Cardenas later this evening, and Onyx Rose is going to be on one day, and So Ellie Leonard, Walter Ryan. We've got several different people, but all kinds of different
I'm happy to
subjects.
be a guest if you need more.
You what?
I'm happy to be a guest if you need more.
Oh yeah, I'll take you. Sure. I'll message you and we can schedule a day.
I would volunteer also, but it would depend on the time frame. I know we're different time zones and working during the day.
Yeah, I'm trying to go at different times during the day to get different, because the time zones for Australia and Europe and things like that. If you go the same time every day, you're going to miss out on certain people in a certain part of the country. So I'm varying it by day. So we'll see how it goes. Are any of you working on anything you want to talk about before we go?
No.
I sent you the hot cocoa recipe.
Oh, the spicy one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you say spicy, it's just got spices. It's not like hot. The hottest thing in it is cinnamon.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was maybe I was talking to somebody else about a spicy version of spicy cocoa version or something.
This is a Brazilian spiced hot cocoa.
Okay.
But it's just got like cardamom, ginger, cinnamon.
Oh, okay.
I think there's some clove in it too.
Okay. You ever had a hot Tom and Jerry?
What?
No.
Tom and Jerry.
Oh.
It's it's kind of like what she's described. It's got dairy in it. And then you mix it with you can usually buy hot Tom and Jerry mix, but you can also make it from scratch. You just mix it with rum or whiskey or bourbon or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Or if it's gross, you mix it with scotch. I hate scotch and I hate gin.
I don't drink anymore, so hot cocoa it is.
There you go. Well, I shouldn't anyway. So anyway.
I haven't heard of that one.
Oh yeah. It's probably a World War II era or older. My parents used to make those at Christmas. So
very cool. All right. Well, we're just over an hour. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good day.
Okay, you too.